Welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad, powered by Auto 24/7. Students, today we'll see the important MCQs. But before going into the session, please subscribe our YouTube channel, share the channel with your friends. Do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the link in the description. So we provide coaching for Bank, SSC, RRB as well as for SA Constable. So please download the Career Power Hyderabad app. So let's go into the first question. Which of the following union territory has signed a MOU with SSOCA to become organic by 2025? So which of the following union territory has signed a MOU with SSOCA? SSOCA means Sikkim State Organic Certification Agency. Sikkim State Organic Certification Agency to become organic by 2025. The answer is Ladakh. The answer is Ladakh. So Ladakh Union Territory has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Sikkim State Organic Certification Agency. So this MOU is regarding the implementation of the particular schemes called the Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana as well as Mission Organic Development Initiative, which is simply called MODI, in the Ladakh region, and main aim is to convert Ladakh organic into organic by 2025. So this is the main target of this particular initiative, particular MOU. So the Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh, Radhakrishna Mathur. So please remember all these points. So this will be conducted, this program will be conducted in 3 phases. So first phase, 85 villages will be identified and 5,000 acres will be converted into organic. In the second stage, 82 villages will be converted into organic and covering an area of 10,000 hectares. Sorry, it's hectares, not acres. Third phase, 79 villages. And Sikkim is the first state in India to be 100% organic and getting its all farmland certified organic. The use and sale of chemical fertilizers and pesticides is completely banned in Sikkim. So Sikkim is the first state in India to be organic. So that is why Ladakh has signed an MOU with the Sikkim State Organic Certification Agency to convert the entire union territory into organic state. So organic is very, very important. It's natural. We use natural manure in it. It's very good for human beings, and also it reduces the chemicals in the soil. It reduces the soil degradation. It protects the environment. It will lead to sustainable development goals. So that is why this particular organic farming is very, very important. So please remember this question. So next question, which company will construct India's largest solar power park in Kutch region in Gujarat? So which company will construct the largest solar power park in Kutch region in Gujarat? The answer is National Thermal Power Corporation. So NTPC is going to construct India's largest solar power park in the Kutch region. So this project, the largest solar photovoltaic project, will come in the Kawada region in Gujarat. So this project will have a capacity of 4.75 gigawatt. So this project will be constructed by the NTPC company, NTPC Renewable Energy Limited, so which is an 100% subsidiary of NTPC. The main aim of the project is to transform NTPC into a green energy company. So the main aim of India is to build 60 gigawatt renewable energy by 2032. So it's the main aim. So this NTPC REL, Renewable Energy Limited, it also plans to generate green hydrogen on a commercial scale from this park. So they will try to generate green hydrogen. So green hydrogen is very simple. Hydrogen produced from renewable sources is called green hydrogen. Also remember, NTPC established in 1975, NTPC headquarters New Delhi. So please remember all these points. So the next question, World Youth Skills Day is observed every year on. World Youth Skills Day is observed every year on July 15th. So on July 15th, the United Nations will celebrate this day. The main aim of the day is to celebrate the importance of equipping the young people with skills for employment, decent work and entrepreneurship. So you need to equip, you need to train young people with skills for employment, decent work and entrepreneurship. So the theme for this year is reimagining youth skills post-pandemic. So reimagining youth skills post-pandemic. So please remember all these points. So next question, who has been appointed as the leader of House in Rajya Sabha? Who has been appointed as the leader of House in Rajya Sabha? The answer is Piyush Goyal. So Piyush Goyal will replace Tawar Chand Gehlot. So Tawar Chand Gehlot was recently appointed as the Karnataka governor. So Piyush Goyal is currently the Ministry of Textiles, Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So please remember about Piyush Goyal, who is the leader of House in Rajya Sabha. Also remember this table, very important. In Rajya Sabha, the leader of his House is Piyush Goyal. The leader of opposition is Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress party. In Lok Sabha, the leader of House is Narendra Modi himself. So the Prime Minister will be the leader of House. And the leader of opposition is vacant in Lok Sabha. Okay, so in order to be a leader of opposition, you need to get 10% of the total seats of Lok Sabha. That is 10% of 545, you need minimum 55 seats to be leader of opposition. But Congress party, which is the second largest party, doesn't have this much seats. So that is why they don't hold the post of leader of opposition, and leader of opposition is vacant as of now. Okay, so to be the leader of opposition in any house, you need to have 10% of the total strength of the house. For being a leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, you need 25 seats. For being a leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, you need 55 seats. 10% of the total seats. In Rajya Sabha, the total seats are 250. In Lok Sabha, the total seats are 545. Please remember all these points. Leader of House Piyush Goyal, leader of opposition Mallikarjun Kharge, leader of House in Lok Sabha Narendra Modi, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha is vacant. Please remember all these points. So next, Cabinet approves an increase in dearness allowance and dearness relief from 17% to which percent? Cabinet approves an increase of dearness allowance and dearness relief from 17% to 28%. So a very good news for all the central government employees and central government pensioners. So the DA, the dearness allowance, which is simply called DA, and dearness relief were increased. It's a huge hike. So this hike is nearly 11% hike. So DA is pending from nearly last year, that is from January 2020, DA is pending because due to the COVID pandemic, this DA was postponed, and now this DA was increased and it will be effective from July 1st. So your new DA of 25% will be from July 1st. So the past from January 2020 to June 2021, DA will remain at 17%. So from last year, from the time of pandemic, January 2020 to June 2021 till this last month, your DA will be 17% only. But from next month, from this month, July 1st onwards, DA will be given as 28%. So because of this increase in DA, the government will have a burden of extra 34,401 crores. Okay, but this will benefit nearly 48 lakh central government employees and 65 lakh pensioners in the country. So it's a huge benefit for all these people. What is DA? DA is simply the calculation on inflation and an allowance paid to government employees, public sector employees and pensioners in India. So DA is like, by calculating the inflation, you will pay some amount to the government employees on top of their basic pay. So which is DA. So DA was introduced during the Second World War by the British. So DA was introduced by the Second World War by the British. So please remember all these points. So name the singer of Tokyo Olympics cheering song Hindustani Way. Name the singer of Tokyo Olympics cheering song Hindustani Way. The answer is Ananya Birla. So the A.R. Rahman has launched this song called Hindustani Way. Ananya Birla is the singer and A.R. Rahman is the composer. So this song is titled Cheer for India Hindustani Way, which is sung by Ananya Birla and composed by Rahman. So this song was inaugurated by the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Anurag Singh Thakur. So this video comprises of footages from the Atlanta, Athens, Beijing, London, Rio Olympics and also training footage of this year contingent. And also this video features the winning moments of Leander Paes, Vijayendra Singh, Abhinav Bindra, Mary Kom, Rajwardhan Singh Rathod, PV Sindhu, Shakshi Malik, among all other people. So this video composes about the past winnings and an encouragement to the Olympics, Indian contingent which is going to participate in the Tokyo Olympics. Okay, so please remember, song is sung by Ananya Birla and composed by A.R. Rahman. Please remember all these points. So Cabinet approves a continuation of the centrally sponsored scheme National Ayush Mission for how many years? Cabinet approves the continuation of centrally sponsored scheme National Ayush Mission for how many years? The answer is 5 years. The answer is for 5 years. So the program will be extended for 5 years up to 2026. So National Ayush Mission. Okay. So this program will be implemented up to 2026. and an amount of nearly 4,607 crores were allotted, of which 3,000 crores belong to central government, 1,607 crores belong to state government. So this program will run for next 5 more years. So this program, National Ayush Mission, was launched in 2014, which is implemented by the Ministry of Ayush. The main objective of this program is to provide cost-effective Ayush services, mainly focusing on the Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Savarigpa and Homeopathy. So we have a great treasure of Indian medicine. We need to promote this medicine. So under this NAM, National Ayush Mission, we will upgrade Ayush hospitals and dispensaries. We will co-locate the Ayush facilities at all the PHCs, CHCs and district hospitals. We will set up 50-bedded integrated Ayush hospitals and 12,500 Ayush health and wellness centers. So these are all the objectives of this scheme. We will do all these things to mainly to empower the masses for self-care, to reduce the disease burden and the out-of-pocket expenditure. India has a huge treasure of the natural medicine. We need to revive this, we need to support this so that people will be reducing their cost expenditure on the health and the disease burden. Okay. So the Ministry of Ayush, newly appointed Ministry of Ayush, Sabarnand Sonawala. So please remember him, Sabarnand Sonawala, the new Minister of Ayush Department. So next question, name the author of the book Urdu Poets and Writers, Gems of Deccan. Name the author of the book Urdu Poets and Writers, Gems of Deccan. The book author is Iftikhar. So the book author is J.S. Iftikhar. J.S. Iftikhar is the author of the book. So this book was presented to Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. So Venkaiah Naidu has praised this book and he said we need to protect the indigenous poets and writers. So this book is a collection of prose and poetry of the 51 outstanding poets and writers of the Deccan region. So this book traces the rich heritage and culture of the Deccan, mainly from the time of Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, who is the founder of Hyderabad, till the present time. So this book has a history of the India's heritage and culture. Okay. The next question. Reserve Bank of India has imposed restrictions on which of the following? Reserve Bank of India has imposed restrictions on MasterCard. So this MasterCard mainly it did not compel to the guidelines of RBI. So that is why restriction was imposed on MasterCard. So mainly these restrictions will it will not allow new domestic customers both for debit, credit as well as prepaid to get onto this card network from July 22nd. So MasterCard did not compel with the guidelines of the RBI. So that is why restrictions were given. According to these restrictions, new customers will not be taken into MasterCard. New cards will not be issued to customers. Mainly MasterCard cards will not be issued to the bank customers. So MasterCard is established as the Interbank Card Association in 1966, which was renamed as MasterCard in 1979 and headquartered in New York. So if you see the details, so MasterCard did not compel with the rules pertaining to the storage of payment system data in India. So this MasterCard is a payment system operator where many banks have tie-up with it to issue debit and credit cards. So banks like HDFC, Yash Bank, ICICI Bank, RBL Bank, they have issued MasterCard credit and debit cards. So this order will not impact the existing customers. Existing customers will not have any issues in using the debit and credit card, but new customers will not be taken into the MasterCard network. So this is the third major payment system which is facing the RBI action after the American Express and Diners Club International Limited. So earlier American Express and Diners Club they couldn't compel with the guidelines of RBI, so they were also restricted. What is this guideline all about? So according to the circular which is issued in 2018, the storage of payment system data. So all the system providers, they are directed to shift their entire data to India within 6 months. So their entire data must be stored in India itself. So the entire data, end-to-end transactions, information collected, carried, processed, everything, every data which is collected from Indians must be stored in India itself. So it's a data protection action done by RBI. So whoever are not compelling with this data protection will be imposed restrictions. So the supervisory action was taken by RBI according to the section 17 of the Payment and Settlement System Act 2007. So please remember all these points. And RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, RBI headquartered Mumbai, RBI is established in 1st April 1935. Please remember all these points. So next question, name the engine which was successfully tested by ISRO for Gaganyaan program. So Gaganyaan program to be launched in next year 2022. So the one engine is being used for this particular Gaganyaan program. So what is that engine name? The engine is Vikas engine. So Vikas engine which is created from the initials of Vikram Ambalal Sarabhai. Vikram Ambalal Sarabhai. So this Vikas engine is a family of liquid fueled rocket engines mainly designed by the Liquid Propulsion System Center in 1970. So this engine is used to power the second stage of PSLV, the boosters and second stage of GSLV Mark 1 and 2 and the core stage of GSLV Mark 3. So this is about the Vikas propulsion system. So this engine was tested for a duration of 240 seconds at the ISRO propulsion complex which is present in Mahendragiri in Tamil Nadu. So this test has met the objectives. So this engine has met the objectives. It is very successful. So it will help for the Gaganyaan mission. So ISRO, if you see about details of ISRO, ISRO is the primary agency in India to perform the task related to space-based applications, space exploration. ISRO chairman K. Shivan, ISRO headquarters Bengaluru, and ISRO was established in 1969. Please remember all these points. Next question, which of the following bank license was recently cancelled by RBI? Which of the following bank license was recently cancelled by RBI? The answer is Shivajirao Patil Nilangekar Urban Cooperative Bank. So the bank is Shivajirao Patil Urban Cooperative Bank. So this bank license was cancelled by RBI. So this bank is not compelling with the provisions of the Banking Regulation Act of 1935. So this bank is a Maharashtra based bank which is headquartered in Maharashtra. Its current fiscal position is very bad that it can't pay its depositors in full amount. So it is in very bad shape now. So that is why the RBI has cancelled its license. So now due to this they can't accept deposits, they can't repay the depositors here. And the Commissioner for Cooperation and Register of Cooperative Societies was ordered to wind up the bank and to appoint a liquidator for the bank. So liquidator is a person or agency mainly will help in winding up the business. Okay. So this particular order was given. So this bank is headquartered in the Nilanga town in Latur district in Maharashtra. So these are all the details about the Shivajirao Patil Nilangekar Urban Cooperative Bank. So please remember all these points. Next, country's first grain ATM has been set up as a pilot project in which state? Country's first grain ATM has been set up as a pilot project in which state? The answer is Haryana. So this grain ATM was set up in Farrukhnagar in Gurgaon, Haryana. So this ATM can dispense nearly 70 kgs of grain within 5 to 7 minutes. So this grain ATM is named ATM Anapurti. So it's like an ATM machine, bank ATM machine. It works like a bank ATM machine. So this machine is installed under the World Food Program and it is called, this ATM is called Automated Multi-Commodity Grain Dispensing Machine. Okay. So you can see the picture here. This is the ATM, grain ATM, where a woman is collecting her ration. So these beneficiaries, they need to enter their Aadhaar card or ration card number. So after authentication, the food grains will get filled in these bags. You can see here the food grains will get filled in these bags. So this ATM can be used to dispense wheat, rice, millet, and it is present in Farrukhnagar as of now. So as of now, only wheat is being distributed from this grain ATM. Please remember all these points. So Haryana Governor Bandaru Dattatreya recently appointed Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. So please remember all these points. So next question. The annual UN FAO Food and Agricultural Organization report, which is titled The State of Food Security and Nutrition in Nutrition in the World 2020, states that how many million people in the world have faced hunger in 2020? How many million people in the world have faced hunger in 2020? The answer is 720. It is between 720 and 811 million people have faced hunger in 2020. So according to the State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World 2020 report, which is released by the UNFAO, UN Food and Agricultural Organization, so nearly between 720 and 811 million people were facing hunger in 2020. So this report was produced by FAO, International Fund for Agriculture Development, UN Child Emergency Fund, World Food Program and World Health Organization, all of them collaborated to create this report, huge report of the world. So according to this report, so nearly 418 million people faced hunger in Asia, 282 million people faced hunger in Africa, and 2.37 billion people did not get access to adequate food in 2020. So they don't have adequate food in 2020. So they also gave reports about stunting, wasting and overweight. So children below 5 affected by stunting are nearly 22%, that is 149 million. Children affected by wasting 6.7%, that is 45 million. Children under 5 who are overweight, which is 5.7%, that is 38.9 million. Children were affected by all these things, stunting, wasting and overweight. So stunting means very simple, low height for age, which is caused by long-term insufficient nutrient intake and frequent infections. Wasting means low weight for height, lower weight for height, which is a strong indicator of mortality among the children under 5. So this is usually due to the acute significant food shortage or disease. Same, stunting and wasting will be similar. Stunting means low height for age, wasting means low weight for height, and the opposite is overweight, where you have excess body fat than required. So overweight means you have excess body fat than required. So next is Food and Agricultural Organization, which is a UN agency, special agency mainly to defeat hunger, to improve nutrition and to have food security. So it's a UN agency. Please remember about FAO. Established in 1945, headquartered in Rome, Italy. Please remember all these points. Next is, what is the theme of World Youth Skills Day 2021? We already discussed. What is the theme of World Youth Skills 2021? Reimagining youth skills post-pandemic. Please remember all these points. Theme is reimagining youth skills post-pandemic. So remember all these points. So last question for today. The wholesale price-based inflation eased marginally to how much percent in the month of June 2021? So the wholesale priced inflation, price inflation has been eased marginally to how much percent? The answer is 12.07. Please remember 12.07. So very important who are preparing for SBA clerk examination, SBA mains clerk, very important, remember all these points. The wholesale price index based inflation decreased slightly to 12.07% in the month of June. Last month it is 12.94. In the month of May it is 12.94, a slight decrease because the crude oil and food items are witnessing softening in prices. Crude oil and food prices are decreasing, but the wholesale price index remained double digit in the third consecutive month in June. Continuously from 3 months it is double digit. It is not decreasing less than 10. So this is released by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So wholesale price inflation means the average change in prices of commodities at the wholesale level. The average change of prices in commodities at the wholesale level. So they will calculate the price rise at the wholesale markets. So this wholesale price index is, inflation is, they calculate the wholesale price inflation at the wholesale price market. Okay, so these are all the current affairs for today. So please subscribe our YouTube channel, share the channel with your friends. Do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. Join this Telegram channel for this PDF. Download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We provide coaching for bank, SSC, RRB. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you one and all.